what we'll do back here again is I'm going to show you the two different ways to get into the airports menu, all right? So our airports menu, of course, we see it down here. There are two different ways that I know to get into this airports menu. The first is very self-explanatory. That if we just click on airports menu, then it's going to pop up something like this. Okay, what this is just showing us Camarillo Airport. The same thing like we had on that little mini menu is going to show up here. We've got all of our frequencies, elevation, things like that. It's going to give us all these information, right? But what we can actually notice is if we go onto here and we just click onto frequencies, the top left, we'll just go top left and we're going to kind of move to the right-hand side. What we can do here, we see, of course, if we're wanting to talk 2-point Magoo approach 124.7, if we're trying to figure out what our ground frequency is, which again, of course, remember, it's up here on the top section. We see that ground and 121.8. But we kind of figured out, you click on ground and it'll show you Camarillo ground frequency 121.8. All right, showing us all the different frequencies. Our ATIS frequency is here, but again, of course, it's up on the top portion of this. Another thing we can do, we'll go over and click on weather. So this is going to show us our current weather as well as a TAF. So we've got our METAR here. We're seeing here that it's VFR, and this is of current of 50 minutes ago, as we're seeing. But we've got our basically our Camarillo METAR, the time that it was published, with the winds, everything like that. We know how to read a METAR. Maybe we don't, but oops. So then what's happening is it's showing us our METAR, and it's kind of giving us that plain text version, if you will, right? Even we're showing that we have some, it's a warm day out there, so it's looking, and it's a little humid, so it looks like we're actually done with a little bit of density altitude today, 1,600 feet, okay? One thing that we can also see is if we go and we will have nearby weather. So with this, remember what we did here is we went down to altitudes, or I mean down to airports in the bottom left-hand side. We went just basically, we switched from the map tab into our airports tab. Okay, that's one way to do it, and I'm going to show you the second way here in a second. But we know here now with weather, we've got our current METAR, but then we actually are going to pull in any nearby weather. So we see here Oxnard. Oh, sorry guys, I almost sneezed. We got Oxnard's weather. So if we actually click on Oxnard, now notice we just switched over to Oxnard Airport, right? We don't want that. So we're going to go back up here. We can search. We can actually click back in KCMA or any airport that you want, any airport that's close to you. And of course, it's just a top search bar of the airports tab. We're going to click on KCMA, and now we're back to our weather. Okay. So we see our weather. We're going to see our TAFs. Anything that's going to be forecasted out will be here as well. Any type of discussion. So this could be even if people are talking about it or discussing, you'll see, or any PIREPs, things like that, will all be discussed here. Okay. Winds aloft. They'll show you what winds are there. So this is, again, just kind of going through each one of these little tabs and seeing what it does, and you'll start to figure out and get your flow as to what is useful to you, what you want to know, what you want to see, things like that. From here, then we'll go on to the next tab, which is runways. So we've got our runways, right? At different bigger airports, which we'll pull one up in a second. At different bigger airports, we'll see actually different runways, okay? Or if an airport has different multiple runways, then we'll see that. So let's go for our example, we'll go KPRB. So we're gonna basically just, again, search, click on KPRB, and we notice here that we've got two different sets of runways. We've got two runways, all right? So we can get all the information for runway 1 and 19, just like we did on the mini menu, okay? Or of course, if we click over on the other side, 213 or 31, then we've got the same thing. It'll give us all that information.